Deji is without a doubt one of the most polarizing creators currently on YouTube. He's gotten into many controversies in his time on the website, with the most major being his beef with his brother KSI, which started with a fucking joke on a game show video.
Name a dead YouTube channel.
Deji. Oh, wow, that's family. That's family, bro.
I can't believe this year-long drama started with this, holy shit. And with the shit that Deji has done over the past couple of years, there are obviously a lot of people that don't like him, and will call him out of this bullshit. But his fan base greatly outnumbers these people, which can cause certain situations to get swept under the rug and never talked about again, which is where the topic we're talking about today comes in. There's been a significant issue that has been somewhat ignored by Deji's fans and the general public, and that is his subbotting situation. For some context, Deji was accused in 2020 of subbotting his subscribers to get to 10 million, with the accusations mostly being proven true despite what Deji's fans would tell you. And while I will go over the allegations here and why I believe they're legitimate, I am not going to go super in depth. This is mostly going to be talking about the aftermath of the situation, which is why I'm even making this in the first place. So with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Now, I don't exactly have a proper time frame for when everything happened, since some videos that were important to the situation were taken down, which we'll get into. But Deji made this infamous video responding to everything on May 17th, 2020, so I'm going to say that this occurred in May of that year. To sum up what Deji was initially accused of, Freeway Social, a subbotting site, came out with information that Deji was buying subs from their website, which they later tried to refund. Deji had initially made a response to everything, which was just straight up dog shit. He doesn't provide anything substantial to prove that the claims were fake. In fact, the only thing he showed at all was that the IP from the Freeway Social video apparently wasn't his. But let's be real here. This video is mainly noteworthy due to this clip.
I have no knowledge of any of this. This is so bizarre. My IQ level is dumb high, alright? I'm not trying to brag. My IQ level is 189. That is a very high IQ, okay?
Anyways, after this, the whole situation was mainly covered by the commentary YouTuber Cabos, who ripped Deji's response to shreds. He ended up showing compelling evidence that without a doubt proved that at the very least, Deji's channel was in fact subbotted to hit 10 million. The main pieces of evidence shown in the videos by Cabos were the emails connected to the Freeway Social accounts, and the PayPal accounts used for the transactions. The main email connected to the account was the same email as one of Deji's properties in his real estate business, and the recovery email for the accounts were confirmed to have belonged to Deji's parents. And the PayPal account used for the subs was linked to Deji's father specifically.
The IP you said wasn't yours. We linked to the city you lived in. The email that was used to buy the subs had Deji's mum's email as the recovery email. And we've now confirmed that property22 at btinternet.com is not a random email at all. It's a property Deji owned.
Even if you give Deji as much charitability as possible and assume that he didn't do it and it was someone trying to frame him, this would mean that the person knew people would check the recovery email of the Freeway Social account and he put real Deji emails there. And why would he make a fucking PayPal account to link it to Deji's father later and spend a lot of the money just buying subs? That's fucking ridiculous. At this point, I don't think anybody could deny that Deji's channel was at the very least subbotted, except for people that have absolutely no idea about the situation. The fact that people still defend Deji for this, despite the fact that the only thing he's tried to disprove is that the IP from the Freeway Social account wasn't his, is very strange to say the least. And he didn't even do that effectively, as the Freeway Social account's IP was proven to be in the same city that Deji was residing in. But all of this evidence is not enough to persuade some people, and it certainly wasn't enough to get Deji to own up for his actions, which leads us to the Cabo situation. As mentioned previously, Cabos made several videos on Deji debunking most of what he said regarding the subbotting situation, all of which were very good videos, and I would recommend checking them out, but I can't exactly do that, and this is why. Because of his videos, Cabos was threatened with legal action by Deji's parents, with them even claiming that Cabos and Keemstar's fans went to their house to harass them because of the situation, despite the fact that the tweet was at 5 in the morning in their time zone when they tweeted this. I'm not saying that Deji's parents are lying about what happened, but this is a bit odd. And even if it did happen, it's not Cabos and Keemstar's responsibility to keep track of every fan they have and the crazy shit they do. There will always be people in your audience that go out and harass the people you talk about. It's just by nature of making commentary videos, unfortunately. This is why I put harassment disclaimers in the descriptions of my videos, and sometimes even in the videos themselves. But even with that, it won't stop the crazy people that will go out and fuck with someone anyways. It's stupid to act like Cabos and Keemstar have complete control of their audiences, and to completely blame them for this happening. And that isn't even addressing the fact that they're threatening legal action. From an outsider's perspective, considering that Deji has not proven anything to be wrong about the whole situation, it looked like they were trying to actively silence Cabos and get him to stop talking about the situation. Which I don't even need to say is a bad look. Like I said before, Deji has never proven any part of these accusations to be false, and has never returned to the conversation since his first video. All Cabos did was provide all the evidence that proved Deji was subbotting, and came to a conclusion based on that evidence and Deji's response. The fact that they would immediately go to legal action is very sketchy, and it makes Deji look way more guilty than before. It would be confirmed by Cabos eventually that Deji did take legal action against him, which is why all his videos were taken down, and the only people who put any attention to this were YouTubers from the commentary community, and the situation almost faded into obscurity until recently. On October 28th, 2022, Nicholas Diorio revealed messages between Cabos and Deji's ex-girlfriend, where it was revealed that Deji himself did not actually subbot. Instead, it was his parents, who wanted to make Deji happy since he was sad about not hitting 10 million subs. And once Deji found out, he sued Cabos to try and sweep the allegations under the rug, resulting in Cabos having $10,000 in legal fees. And honestly, this has to be one of the scummiest things I've seen a YouTuber do. I've seen some arguments that since Cabos claimed that Deji subbotted and not his parents, that he deserved to be sued, and that has gotta be one of the stupidest fucking arguments I've ever heard. The information that Cabos was citing was correct. The only thing that was wrong is that Deji didn't do it, and even then, that was not public knowledge until about a month ago. So trying to justify a lawsuit that drained $10,000 out of a guy when Deji knew that the allegations were true is just idiotic. And I've also seen the argument that Deji's girlfriend could very well be lying, but if you look at the emails and PayPal transactions, her story does hold up. And even if we entertain the fact that she might have been lying, that doesn't invalidate all the other evidence that was pushed forward. So to give a good summary of my thoughts on this, it was a very scummy move already to bot subscribers, even if it was just Deji's parents who were doing it. But suing another YouTuber for simply covering the situation and giving his thoughts about it is one of the scummiest fucking things I think a YouTuber can do. And everyone defending this does not understand the entire situation. Moving on. I've been trying to think of a cohesive outro for this video, but I've never been able to come up with anything to sum up the entire story, or to come to some conclusion or lesson, so I'll just say this. Despite all the evidence that came out about Deji, public opinion was still in his favor for the most part. And, you know, that makes sense. Deji has 10 million subscribers and is beloved by a lot of people. But there's certainly a tendency to side with the person that you like more in a situation instead of who is actually right. And while Cabos is respected by the commentary community, most people I've seen that don't come from that sphere just don't like him due to his attitude in his videos, and are less likely to hear him out. And this certainly makes it harder for him to be seen as in the right in situations, even with all the evidence. But with that being said, this does not justify the blind defending of Deji by any means, and Cabos did not deserve to be sued. With that being said, if you stuck around to the end instead of just disliking the video and leaving, thank you. More content should be on the way soon, though I'm not consistent like always, and I think anyone who's watched me before knows this for a fact. If you want to follow my other social medias like my Twitter or YouTube, they'll be in the description, but for now, I'll be taking my leave. Oh yeah, one last thing. Hashtag FLM.
It's dumb high, all right? I'm not trying to brag. My IQ level's 189. That is a very high IQ, okay?